2 league games into Danny ROHL'S Rangers managerial career, and already he has more wins than Russell Martin. But can he do the unthinkable and go on and win the league title this season with Rangers? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football, and that is the question that we are asking. And we actually asked it 4 days ago, after Rangers beat Kilmarnock. So this was before they beat Hibernian. However, I don't think the votes really would have changed that much. 1.5 thousand people voting. 68% are saying no. And to be honest, when you've got Shermitty up front, I don't really blame 68% saying no. 32% are saying yes, so 32% are saying yes, Rangers still can win the league. Now, that's not to say that 32% of people believe Rangers will win the league. No, that's 32% of people saying that they believe there's still the opportunity for Rangers to win the league. Now, 68% are just completely writing Rangers off. And am I writing Rangers off? Honestly, no. I'm not. As bad as they were under Russell Martin, as bad as they have been this season, Danny ROHL'S came in, and I don't think he's been great, but he has won 2 league games in a row. The Hibernian win I don't think was convincing, but still, to go to Easter Road and win, it's not an easy thing to do. Hibs were unbeaten in 18 league home matches, I believe, and Rangers had went like 26 away games without keeping a clean sheet. So not only did he end Hibernian's unbeaten run at Easter Road, but he also ended Rangers' crazy like 26 game away run without keeping a clean sheet. So it was an impressive result. Performance might not have been the best thing ever, but it was an impressive result. So I'm factoring in the fact that Danny ROHL'S come in, he's looked alright, he's got 2 wins in the league. Then I look at Celtic, who are probably the worst Celtic team we've seen in a long time. At least since the COVID season, this has been by far the worst Celtic team. They're struggling to score goals. Yeah, they may have beat Falkirk, but before that, they weren't scoring any goals. They lost to Stephen Presley, Dundee, for God's sake. That tells you everything you need to know. They're not convincing. They've dropped a lot of points. If you look at the last, 6 games, Celtic have dropped more points than Rangers, so why not? Rangers are only 5 points behind Celtic. We've seen Rangers and Celtic both come back from bigger gaps than 5 points, much bigger. I'm pretty sure one season, Celtic won the league after being double digits behind, and when Philippe Clement came in, he was 7 or 8 points behind and actually took Rangers in front of Celtic with about 12 games or something like that to go. So it can happen. Rangers are only 5 points behind Celtic. I think it doesn't make any sense to turn around and say Rangers can't win the league. And then Hearts, who are at the top, and I hope we stay there, and I think we might stay there. But let's be realistic here. 11 points isn't that much when you are comparing it to the old firm. We've seen Rangers and Celtic in recent seasons go on crazy runs that perhaps other teams just aren't capable of. Even look at last season, and I know Aberdeen fell off a lot. I wouldn't even say they fell off. They just died. I mean, Aberdeen literally died after like 11, 12 games into the season. But when they had a 9-point lead over Rangers, people were saying, oh, they're guaranteed second. But then they went to finish 5th, and I think they ended up finishing something crazy, like almost 30 points behind Rangers. So I wouldn't say that Rangers are out of it. If Celtic were 11 points in front at the top of the table, I would lean towards Rangers not being able to win the league. I'd probably say 11 points is too much for them to make up over Celtic, but I don't think 11 points is too much to make up over Hearts. That doesn't mean I think they'll do it, but I think the possibility is there. Anyway, 32% think that Rangers can still win the league, 68% saying that they can't. So 68%, that's 68% pretty much are doing a Paddy Power. They're paying out. They're saying that there's no way that Rangers will win the league this season. Let's see what the comments are saying though, because I think there's a chance, I think there is a chance. Especially when you get into like the split and you've got the top 6 playing each other. That is a time when you can take points off the other teams around you and they're more likely to drop points. And yeah, I just think there's going to be more twists and turns this season. I hope there's not. I hope Hearts run away with it, but you never know. You never know. Anyway, let's see. Tim Celtic said pigs will fly first. Well, I've never seen a flying pig, to be honest, but like I said, bigger gaps have been overturned, so I'm not entirely sure that's true. I think it's definitely more likely that Rangers will win a league than we'll see pigs fly. Unless it's like a Disney movie or some shit like that, then I don't know, they probably have pigs flying in that, flying pieces of bacon. Right, Ryan says, I highly doubt we will win the league this season or even challenge. I just hope we can do well and build for next season. Celtic fans might want to wait until they have managed to catch up to Hearts before they laugh, though. At this rate, they don't look likely to win the league either. I agree with that. And if you're a Celtic fan and you're claiming that Rangers have no chance of winning the league, they're only 5 points behind you, so it's really not that much. Mike Barnaman, seriously, they won't even beat Hibs tomorrow. Well, they did beat Hibs tomorrow, so you were wrong. Hoopspur says, just that's it. George, no surrender, let's see. Mickey Finn, they might not win the league, but they will almost certainly finish above us with how pathetic we are at the moment. So, got a Celtic fan here thinking that Rangers will finish above them. I wonder if that's changed after the 4-0 defeat of Falkirk. Who knows? Peter Murphy, ha, no chance. Nay, global pandemic, nor squad is not on fighting. Plus, our board not stepping down like last time when you ended up winning your first ever league trophy. Newco since 2012. True story, Celtic will still win our league. Couldn't it be any worse? So far, we'll only get better. Soft penalty and an own goal. Them the breaks. Celtic will still be partying in May. We'll see. Celtic were shite against Hearts. Let's not pretend that it was like, soft penalty. He clips him. He trips him. Anyway, Celtic were shite, so it doesn't really matter what the decisions were in that game. John McKelly says, my problem with Rodgers is that he seems to have lost it. Most of our performances this year, not season, but year, have been woeful. At no point has Rodgers tried to change it up or switch formation, try something other than pendulum shite. We are forced to watch. Even with this squad, we should be able to compete better than we currently are. The problem is now Rodgers, with his fucking ego, his refusal to play fair... Oh my god, this comment's massive, man. His refusal to play certain players, dropping the other shite performing players, is causing this dire watch. See, instead of switching desperately to a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2 mid-game, why not start a game in that formation to show that you're actually trying to solve something? Constantly playing 4-3-3 when it's been shite for a year is why Rodgers is now feeling the heat. For fuck's sake, he cannot motivate us, and it will be blamed on players being sold and not bought, not his shite fucking antics that have been on show for how long. First, we need to get rid of the person who cannot get a tune out of that squad that we have. Then set about the longer problem, which is the board. I agree the transfer window was a joke, but we still have a squad that should be able to compete far, far better than we currently are. 90% of teams that we have played, we still have a stronger squad than. Rodgers' stale tactics that brought this slump on. Coincidentally, this is always part of the course with Rodgers, come his third year, at whatever club, stale football and him arguing with the board about transfers. It's a reoccurring theme. We need Rodgers to earn his money right now and try to do something to get a tune from this team. Show why he is the best paid manager we have ever had. Well, he walked, so he didn't show it. He quit. He tucked his tail between his legs and he left Celtic. Cowpair says, just look at 2011 season. Rangers were 15 points clear in November and Celtic went on to win the league. Anything can happen. Not over till it's over. So it's 15. That's crazy. That's crazy. Surely that has to be a bottle job, because that to lose 15 points is insane. Sam Winston, think you mean 2011-12, because that's when Rangers got hit with a 10-point deduction, because Rangers won the league in 2011. Alright, so technically it wasn't really a 15, it was more like 5 points. That makes more sense, because 15 points is a lot of points. Then that club died, as confirmed by UEFA banning the new club from European competition for having no qualifying history, says Matthew Miles. Right, okay. Gary Herd at my sides. John Foley, you mean the Champions League? Guetta, grip, it's the hope that kills you. DHM, no, as board waited till long to sack the Fegan. He should have been sacked after the Bruges defeat. League and Europe are gone. Playing for second place in the two cups, and we could be out of that by next week. Interesting, if Rangers are playing for second place in the league, then who are they against? Are they playing for second against the team that they're only 5 points behind? Or are they playing for second against the team that they're 11 points behind? Jimboy, you've won 8 games of football in 2025 and you're mentioning leagues. This a joke, I'm just no getting it. It's not a joke, it doesn't matter how many games Rangers have won in the year 2025. It matters how many games Rangers can win in the league campaign that remains. Who cares about how shite Rangers have been right now? They're up to this point. The point is, if Rangers do go on a run, if Rangers do improve, they're only 5 behind Celtic, so why can't they finish ahead of them? Why can't, simple mathematics. Doesn't matter how many games Russell Martin lost. Right now the gap's 5 points, so it is what it is. Martin McKenna must really get to people that you had the best chance to win the league ever. Yeah, could you imagine if Russell Martin wasn't shite? Patrick, that them coming again. The Rangers are coming. Baldy Cox, Pep couldn't win the league with this shower. Michael Taylor, RFC, of course we can. Not worried about Celtic as they're on the slump and hopefully they leave it too late to fix, and we will see with Hearts and how they cope with 3 games a week this week and during winter. 01 Karma Cop says Sevco, no chance. And Matthew Miles says desperate people are all we Hearts fans now. So yeah, who knows, maybe other Rangers fans are putting their eggs in the Hearts basket. Why not? I'm sure if you're a Rangers fan, surely you would rather Hearts win the league over Celtic. It's just a normality, isn't it? It's a normal thing. Big Meek says, just like you Celtic fans jump between Hibs and Celtic and being the best fans to attacking and threaten Brenda's family. Matthew Mills replied, English not your first language then. Yeah, don't really recall many Celtic fans jumping onto the Hibs bandwagon. When have Hibs ever been above Celtic for Celtic fans to switch allegiances? I don't recall it. But yeah, there you go, guys. 68% saying that the league's over. I do believe Rangers have a chance, but it's a small chance. It's like a really, really minuscule chance here. They need to get better. I don't think they've been that good under Danny Röhl, but he's certainly doing more than what Martin did. So who knows? Maybe they can turn that around. January could be interesting, especially if Celtic and Rangers improve their squads. But I think Hearts will improve their squad too. So yeah, a lot could change. December, there's lots of football to be played in that month. The league table could look so different. In 2 months' time, Hearts could have the league wrapped up, or Hearts could be sitting in 3rd place. That's the reality. The next 2 months are going to be crucial. November, not that much football in there because of the international break, but once they come back for that, you've got a shitload of games. But I think Hearts will get to January. I think Hearts will get to January in 1st place. I do think they'll be able to see out that 6-point gap, and I think they'll make it to January 1st in number 1. But it doesn't matter. It's all about where you are come the end of May. That's what truly matters. Nobody cares about your position in January. It's all about your position in May. And I'm hoping that in May, Hearts are still top of the table, but we'll see. That's it, guys. Till next time. Peace.